This is my custom Blue Coats Moc. I made this for Brickfair Virginia, and I absolutely love how this turned out. First off, I made most of this stuff on my own and didn't use instructions. There are a couple small things like this little stall from the 90th Anniversary Castle, and this from the Medieval Marketplace, and of course, the little trade ship here from Eldorado Fortress that I used because at the time, I didn't have time to make my own, and I honestly don't think I can make a better little ship than this for the port. This probably and most definitely isn't historically accurate. I just kind of made it for my own fun and just kind of found whatever ideas popped in my head and I used it in it. So I know a lot of you are probably saying, hey, I watched you build this on stream, but this looks nothing like you were building. So yeah, I ended up, while building it, deciding what I was building I didn't like. And so completely changed it to more this fortification vibe we got going on here. Because before we were going to build a house and a fortification. But I really just wanted to build a fort. I didn't like how the house was coming out and the small fortification I had. So I was just like, I'm just going to put more pieces in to the fortification itself. So the story of this mock revolves around this little incident happening right here. Some pirates broke out Captain Redbeard and Jack Sparrow, and they're kind of making their little grand escape here. We got blue coats who are kind of noticing them, and other blue coats who are rushing out of the fort to stop them. We have a little dock over here, and some sailors are parling cargo off the ship next to it, and we got some goods and other stuff scattered around the mock. As you can see, we got a bucket of carrots over there, there's some bread, we got some barrels, there's some fish. This piece right here, it's one of those sweeper pieces from Lego City. I really just wanted to find a fun way to incorporate it into the mock, and I just kind of thought it worked good as some cargo. I don't know what that cargo would be, but I just wanted to find a fun way to incorporate it in. So in front of the fort, we do got a little market scene going on here. Some people are selling goods, and we got some other people buying goods. One of my favorite little Easter eggs to this part are the stick horses we got from the CMF night not that long ago. A lot of people absolutely love that little detail at Brickfair Virginia, and I don't know, I had a bunch of them, and I was just like, you know what, it'd be kind of fun to add them into a mock. So I also have a kid riding one over here. And there's also one back here in this little storage room, if you can see that. We'll get to that in a second. Now, I recently did a video talking about CMFs that you can use for building out your pirate world. And as you can see, I did use a few of them. The Highwayman looks like an amazing gentleman. And we got the Aristocrat, another CMF. And we also got the Swashbuckler over there, which I actually did pick up at Virginia and add into this mock. So as I said, there are many CMFs out there you can use to build out your pirate world and use in your pirate mocks, and it's definitely something I do whenever I do one of my mocks is, hey, what CMFs do I have that kind of fit in with that? So first off, I did tile off basically most of the water. I did add in some dark blue cheese slopes that are transparent, and it just kind of adds some motion to the water. You could also use like a white clear cheese slope because that would also give that same effect. And then there is some dark blue in the water in some areas. All those spots that look like they're missing kind of a stud, that's a little bit on purpose, and also because a lot of those dark blue cheese slopes actually fell out for some reason. So I guess the connection point wasn't great there, and I could have added them back in, but it does, again, add just kind of an effect to the water when you're looking at it. From the water, we go up to this wall here, which I did add some shrubbery on just to kind of make it look like it was, it's next to the water. It's going to get seaweed. It's going to get a little bit gross. I also did add some sand green into the wall to add that effect there too. And then, of course, we added some parts. So we used, as you can see here, we did add in some snot bricks so that we could add some tiles onto it to make it pop out more. So it's not just smooth and flat. There's also some cylinders in there and a lot of masonry bricks mixed up with just kind of normal bricks. Again, just to give it a bit of a different effect, so you just aren't looking at just a flat wall. For the fun, we had this little drain over here. I did build this on stream. I honestly really love how this looks out. That's a brown ladder behind there. And we have a pirate that's just kind of hanging out there. I'd love to put some lights in there. The main area I did start with when building this mock after I built up the plates is this tower. I really just wanted to build a cool tower that we had some cannons on and stuff. And I also wanted to add a bit of a prison to it. So there are prison bars on the side, as you can see. There's also a prison door back there. You can kind of sort of see that there. And again, I knew I wanted to have this scene where people are breaking out of the prison. So I did add some rubble, another in the prison walls there, and that's just kind of like the explosion effect. And I also did try to break the parts up so it wasn't just like a clean line where that explosion happened, and added in a little bit of black, again, just to add this effect that an explosion took place there. For the trimming, I used a dark navy blue. I also used that for the gate itself. And I just wanted to add a color that popped. You know, yellow really looked good for the Eldorado Fortress, or dark red, but I had this extra blue, and I thought the blue and white looked really just good together. And again, going up the wall, you can see it's not smooth. I used a lot of different white parts in there, and then also some of that dark red, just to kind of give it effect, so that when you looked at it, it just wasn't a flat wall you were looking at. I had some like tooth pieces I kind of used to give it some edge to it, popped some parts out using stop bricks, a lot of different techniques just to kind of give it a little bit of a, just not a smooth feel to it. We do have a falcon. I have tons of those. I absolutely love putting animals into the mock. Like, as you can see, I have some chickens going around. I got a pig, also a dog and another dog and some more chickens. And I just love sprinkling those throughout the mock, especially for something like this, because I feel like that would definitely be going around in a place like this. You know, you'd have a lot of chickens and dogs and pigs just going around trying to find scraps of food, you know, getting in the way. We do have the Blue Coats flag on the top of this tower. Now, something I'd love to do in the future is actually expand this, add another 2 plates onto it over here, and build another tower on this side so you do have that gate in the middle, and maybe even build this part back more and add in, like, I don't know, some barracks and stuff like that onto the fortifications, or even add in houses. A lot of inspiration kind of from this came from Assassin's Creed Black Flag. You know, it's a very open world game, and I've played through it a few times, and I absolutely loved the markets and stuff like that you could see when going through it. And so that was a little bit of inspiration of just kind of like, what do I remember in that game? Now, look, that game's not super historically accurate, but I mean, you can definitely take inspiration from it. The walls themselves, I did use the same technique of building them up in different ways. Again, trying to make them not feel so smooth. If I remove one of these, you can kind of see what I did to the walls a bit more. I didn't exactly have all the parts I wanted to make it just as cool of an effect as I had up here and add as much snot onto it. But I did add some shrubbery, some greenery. I did that on a little few different places throughout the mock. And again, it's just to add a little bit of, you know, this is an old place. I'm guessing the walls aren't exactly sparkling clean and vines are growing up it. I did use the same technique as they did in the 90th anniversary castle. A lot of times when I'm building a set, I learn techniques from that Lego designers are starting to use, and I'll usually add those into the mock. For the gates, I did use the old vintage gates. You can find these on a lot of old castle sets. And then I did use that dark blue to go around it again, just to kind of give it that feel. I kind of used them as end caps, that dark blue color. And so I really liked how that looks. Now, I did use some black connection parts because they don't really have those connection parts in dark blue, but I think it works. Unless you look super closely, you don't really notice. So I was really happy with how that came out. And there is a little bit of a tunnel there, not anything super interesting in there. And I did use that grooved in piece above the gate. I thought I just added a nice effect to it. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this gate came out. And I mean, I'm pretty sure you can fit a figure on a horse down there. And if not, you can definitely fit a few troops, as I had there originally, coming through the gate to kind of stop those pirates. For the top of the walls, I did have this one design going around it, and the best example and the cleanest is over here. Yeah, I didn't really do too much on these side walls. I know I should have. I want to make this mock so you can look at it on any way, so I probably will redo some of these walls a little bit. But as you can see up here, it's 8 studs long, and so I have a red brick with a gold stud on it, and then I use these pieces, and they're kind of used for railings a lot of the time. And I just liked how it jutted out. So I kind of used that. And then, as you can see, we have 2 bricks. And then it's another one of those parts. And then another stud. And that's kind of the pattern I used going around it. And then I used a smooth tile on top. And I really liked how that worked out. And then I used cheese slopes, went down a couple bricks, and used cheese slopes there. And then the gun can rest nicely on that. I just felt like it made a really good gun port. So I did that many different times around this. I did the gate a bit differently because of how I wanted to design the gate. But as you can see, I did that design throughout. and there's quite a few cannon holes on it. So I'll probably add more cannon holes over here when I do that. But yeah, you can still put a cannon there. So yeah, really happy how the top of the wall and the main walls kind of came out. When you're looking at it from back here, I think you can still notice a little bit of detail. But it does the job. It looks like a good defensible wall that these guys would be, defending, whether it's from pirates coming in or, maybe you got some redcoats attacking, whatever it is. I feel like this is a pretty defensible fortress. Now, as you can see, going around it, I did make sure that, wherever you're looking, it's kind of filled in all the way. So it's not any ugly colors in the back here. You can do the same thing on this side. These are 4 different 32 by 32 base plates. Yeah, I know I did mess up there. I have to fix that at some point. But yeah, so it's 4 32 by 32 base plates. And it's this square pattern. And so I'll definitely make more of these and kind of add them on. And I did make them very modular. They can all come apart. The back of the fort is kind of plain. I was focusing more on the front of the fort for this build. But one thing I did want to make sure is that you could get up to any spot. I absolutely hate it when you're looking at a mock or a set and you're like, hey, how do you get up to that tower? So I did try to make sure that you could get up to any spot in this place. So there are stairs on either side of the gate when you come through it to get up and then, get on these battlements here. There is the gate entrance there. And, as I said, it's kind of plain back here, but I knew a lot of people weren't going to be seeing this at the convention, so I didn't really add too much. There is this hallway here that leads to the prison cell, and there is a prison cell door back there. But one of the spots back here, the kind of most detailed area is this little, equipment area. So one of the things I want to do, because I made these all mills plates, and I did stack up the brick about 3 high, I was like, hey, I want to go down. I want to use how I have that depth to add into that. Because if you have that depth, why not use it? It allows you to go up higher, but also down when you build up. So I added in a couple small stairs there, and then we got like a gun rack back there, some carrots for supplies, another one of those horses. This was actually given to me by Steven Erickson. He was walking around with these, and whenever he liked a mock, I'm pretty sure this was his token. A lot of people will leave tokens on mocks if they like it. So he left me that, so I kind of left it in the mock because that's really cool. But yeah, not too much to do back here. A little gold, couple barrels, you had some tools, a broom, and yeah, again, I really just wanted to have a little room where it went down. I'll probably use this for some buildings more at some point when I build onto this, where I will just kind of have a room go down, maybe have a cellar or something like that. Even build up a couple more so you can go down even deeper. So yeah, I was really happy with how the back of this came out. Even if it doesn't have a ton of detail, you could still look at the back of this and go, hey, that's pretty cool. That looks good. And it's not just like, all right, I'm going to look at this from one side, and no matter what side, like I've seen a lot of mocks that, hey, depending on what you're building, a lot of mocks, they'll focus a lot on the front, but when you look at the back of it, you see just a lot of filler. And I wanted to make sure no matter which way you looked at this, there was no filler. But, at the same time, there would be, if when I added on to it, areas that I could improve on. So, of course, I can obviously improve on the back of this. There could be a little more detail added to it. But as of right now, I'm very happy how that came out. So as I said, these were made up of all 32 by 32 base plates. I used a couple blue ones here for the water. And I know this kind of breaks the illusion. The inside of it, yes, does have ugly filler, but I wanted to save gray or white or whatever other colors for that. But again, all these can be moved simply. This gate could be a mock on its own if I wanted to. If I wanted to improve it, add into it. This tower corner here. So all of these are kind of their own thing, especially these back two. I mean, the front one's not too much. Let's be honest. It's just kind of some water and a little bit of a dock. So it's very easy for transportation to build your mock like this. And also like, hey, I can move it wherever I need to shoot this for videos or whatever. So I highly recommend when you build using Mills technique, which is basically just building up a little bit and then using whatever system, whether that's Technic pins or other systems like that, to connect the mock together. Now look, I am no expert mock builder, but the reason I show you guys this mock is because I want to inspire all of you, no matter what your skill level is. Lego is about the enjoyment of building, about creativity, about fun. So even if you don't think you're good enough to build a MOC, just throw some bricks together, have fun with it. Honestly, I had a lot of fun just setting up minifigures in this. Whatever it is, build something for your enjoyment, because that is what Lego is about. So whether you're a fan of Star Wars, whether you're a fan of Pirates Castle, whatever it is, I want to show you guys that, look, even someone like me, I don't consider myself a good MOC builder at all, but you know, sometimes it is fun to slap together bricks. So try it out. I recommend, if you have had a lot of self-doubt about building a MOC, try it. I highly recommend it, and I know that you will have fun with it. That wraps up my Blue Coat MOC. Let me know in the comments what your favorite detail I added into this MOC was.